Going on YouTube? I wanted to make a quick video here. I was having some problems with my zmaster and I couldn't find anything online about this problem, and I just thought I would share my information that I found out and the way I fixed it in case anybody else is having this particular problem. The symptoms I was having was I didn't have any power, it felt like, you know, especially running the bagger. I didn't want to hardly do anything at all. Every once in a while going up a steep hill, it would cut out and fall on its face. Really acting up on me. I took it into the dealer. They looked it over, said everything was fine, compression wise, coil wise, all that other stuff. I'm not going to go into all them details today, but they said everything was fine. Okay, they didn't think anything was wrong with it. Charged me $55 for nothing, in my opinion. Well, I got tired of it running like that, so this is what I did. Yesterday, I tore the carburetor off of it, and give me 1 second here. Sorry, I'm using my cell phone. Put that seat up. Alright, so basically there was no information online on anybody ever servicing these carburetors. From what the dealer said, they're non-serviceable. They don't sell a rebuild kit for them. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So basically, to get this carburetor off, you're going to take these two Phillips screws out right here, okay? And this cover is going to come off. Alright. You're going to take these two bolts right here on top of your valve cover on this side. And there's two more exactly like that on the other side. Okay, you're going to pull those four off. You're going to take these two bolts out of your air intake, and this whole assembly will lift off. This whole intake will come off there, okay? And that'll give you some room to get down in there. Now down in there, I put the cover back on, but there's two 8mm bolts that hold this carburetor on. There's one here, and there's one back on this back corner down in there. There's those two that hold it on. Alright, so you're going to yank those two out, and then the carburetor will come up, disconnect your cables, your governor, your choke, and your throttle, and the car will come right off. Alright, you got to unplug your solenoid too, don't forget about that. Then right here on top of your carb, there's 4 screws. Okay, there's 2 right here and there's 2 on the back side. Alright, there's one right here and another one back over there. You take those 4 screws out and that carb will pull right apart. Split in half, you'll have your float side and you'll have your intake side. And just clean it like a normal carb. I blew a bunch of carbon choke cleaner through the jets. You know, the normal clean. Put it all back together, blew it out with the air hose, obviously. You want to be careful. Another thing, you can tell how clean my carburetor is. That I just cleaned this yesterday, but I mean, this stuff was all caked up. I mean, it had a couple inches of nasty crap caked all over it. So when you lift that carburetor off there, what I did is I lifted it up and I kind of leaned it a little bit, and I had a clean paper towel, and I took a clean piece of paper towel and put it underneath the carburetor on the intake. I put it underneath there so all that gunk didn't fall down in there. And I took my shop vac and shop vacked all that stuff out of there the best I could, and then I cleaned my carburetor real good on the outside before I even took it apart. Soaked it in carbon choke cleaner, blew it off with the air hose, so that way all that stuff don't fall in there. This fixed my problem. I was just out mowing this morning. The power's back. It hasn't rained as good in a month, to be honest with you. It starts up real easy. It never really started that hard, but I could definitely tell it was starting a little harder. Yeah, I mean, if anybody's having this problem, I would highly suggest doing the carburetor clean. It's real simple. Just be careful with your gaskets, because there's not a gasket kit available, especially if you're using compressed air. You don't want to blow them gaskets up out of them holes that they're sitting in, because once you do that, they'll probably be too stretched out and they won't ever sit back down in there right, and nobody sells a gasket kit for it. At least that's what my dealer told me. He wanted me to buy a new carburetor at the tune of $350 to $400, and I couldn't justify spending that much on that. I thought I'd give it a whirl cleaning it first. And I'm glad I did, because as of right now, I mowed 5 yards this morning, and they were all long. It's been doing nothing but raining here. As you can tell how wet my backyard is. I don't know if you can see it or not. My backyard's a swamp. They were real long, and I hadn't had a chance to stay on top of them because we've been getting so much rain. And they were the last few I had at the back end of my week. And I'm real impressed with the way it's running now. It's running a lot better. I think she's going to give me through the rest of this season before I can buy me a new mower this spring. Coming up, 1,338 hours. She's getting up there. I've never had to put a pump on it or anything yet, but they're getting there. I'm trying to get it through the rest of the year. I demoed a 60-inch Toro earlier this year, 6,000 series. I think it was, I believe it was a 34 carbureted. I know it was carbureted because I'm not a big EFI person. I'd rather do a carburetor because I can work on it myself. I don't need a laptop and fancy programs to fix my EFI when it's out of tune. I believe it was a 34 or 31 carbureted. I can't remember. That thing was an absolute hug. And it had the MyRide on it. When I buy one, I don't think I'm going to buy one with the MyRide. I can get a pretty damn good deal on the one I demoed. The last I know, it had about 30 hours on it. A couple people have taken it out for a demo. I think it's just been pretty much sitting in the warehouse ever since I demoed it, and he would give me a damn good deal on it, but I just don't need that MyRide. No, I can buy a brand new one without the MyRide a little bit cheaper than I can buy that demo one with the MyRide. I mean, I'm only talking $500 to $800, something like that. I don't remember the exact numbers. It ain't a huge difference, but in my opinion, that MyRide, I just don't want to deal with it. Springs bust, or shocks go out, or this, that, and there's just too much other stuff for me to maintain. It would be nice, and it was nice when I ran it, but I just don't need it. I mean, hell, the bagger for this is another $3,000. So, I mean, you drop $14,000 to $15,000 on a 6,000 series pretty damn quick. I can't justify paying even more than that for the MyRide. I'll be all right with just a suspension seat. That's the end of this video. Sorry I kind of rambled a little bit. This is a 27 horse Kohler carbureted. I believe this mower is a 2011. I think that's when I bought it. 2011. So it's a 2011 zmaster. We got the 27 Kohler on it. I imagine they're pretty much all the same. Like I said, there wasn't any information online at all. I did throw some money at it before I decided to clean the carb. New fuel pump, fuel filter, new plugs, new gas caps, brand new gas caps. None of that really cured it. That carburetor clean fixed it. And if you're not comfortable doing it, by all means, don't tear into it, because you can screw it up and your mower probably never run right ever again. You don't get them jets cleaned out and set back right and all that other stuff. But if you've cleaned it before and you're kind of leery and don't know if you want to take it off there, it is serviceable if you're careful. Mine went smooth. Like I said, there's 2 bolts that you can't see, and that's all that holds it on. It's real easy to take off of there. You don't have to take anything off other than this intake. You gotta take that off, and then you can get right to it and work on it. No big deal at all. All right, you guys have a good day. I'll talk to you later.